सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant and maybe not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome everyone to the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. First, we want to express gratitude to Swami to be able to continue the Gita Jnana Yajna. I said there is the grace of God that we are able to participate in the Gita Yajna. I said before, Lord Krishna said, anybody who participate in the Jnana Yajna, Gita Yajna, which is there are many yajnas, Japa Yajna, then Rudra Yajna, Chandi, Homa, but the greatest, most dear to Lord is Jnana Yajna. He says, Jnani Atmaiva me maham. There is no difference between Lord and the Jnani. So, he says, people who read his teachings, spread his teachings, listen his teachings, they are very dear to him. So, I refer to that. Which shlokas? Shloka in chapter 18, shloka 68 and 69. Please go and refer to that. So, always contemplating his teachings, because Lord's Krishna's every word is like a mantra. And last week we didn't have, last week we had Aradhana celebration. We started Bhakti Yoga, chapter 12. And he said this is one of the most important. Every chapter is important, 18 chapters. But this 12th chapter, all the great masters gave a lot of importance. Because I want to give the sequence. In the 11th chapter, where he gave the universal vision, cosmic vision, he says only few blessed people can have this vision, because only Arjuna could see, even though there are so many people, even his brothers could not see. Only selected people only could see this cosmic vision of Lord Krishna, because he says, Dadami Divya Chakshu, he has to give that special glasses, divine vision. Then only you can see. Otherwise you see, everybody sees him, but only those people who are blessed. Even in life, if you want to have cosmic vision of God, you need his grace. So he says, he ends the chapter, if you want to merge with me, he says, Mat karma krit, mat paramo, mat bhakto, sangavajjitaha, nirvairya sarvabhuteshu, yes samameti pandava. He says, hey Arjuna, you merge with me. How do you merge with me? He says this, Mat karma krit, do my work. Mat paramo, always meditate on me, think about me. Mat bhakto, love me. And fourth is Sangavajjitaha, don't be attached to name, fame, house, family, children, this power. No attachment you should have. Nirvairya sarva bhuteshu, this is important. No hatred to anybody, any sarva bhuteshu says, not human beings. You cannot hate any being. If you do that, then you will merge with me. So this is a tall order. So Arjuna heard that. See, then that is where the 11th chapter ends. Then 12th chapter begins, where Arjuna, he's a good spiritual seeker. You know, Arjuna means pure. He's a sin. That is why Lord Krishna chose of all the people Arjuna to give the message. Then he says, oh Lord, I know people say I know to do this, It's good to worship you in the Nirguna Nirakara as formless, without attributes and name, or Saguna Sakara with name and form. There are so many forms and names of God, right? Ganesha we have, and Swami, and then Rama, Krishna, Jesus, Buddha, so many forms. We can choose. Is it which one is good to do? He asked the question like all of us do, people who are really seekers. Then Lord Krishna, he didn't say which is better. He said, if you have these three qualities, you can reach me. That means either path. That means you should have ananya always in that thought of God. Second, in that path, you should have intense faith, shraddha. You should have complete faith. Yeah, took the path, it will reach the goal. Intense faith, and then you should be thinking ananyas chintayatu. You should have that complete shraddha. Then you will be able to experience me. But he thinks it is very difficult. Then he clarifies. That's why we were there in the up to Shloka. He says, this path of Nirguna Nirakara, where you see God everywhere in everything, it is not easy. He says, if you have to have three things. One is, you should complete mastery of the senses. All your 10 senses, karmendriyas, jnanendriyas. 5 organs of action, 5 organs of perception, you should master complete control. Sanniyam indriya grama. Like credentials, you want to get into medical school or law school, anywhere they say, hey, what is your score? You are at least eligibility there. So it's 3 eligible criteria, Lord Krishna says. Sanniyam indriya grama. Complete master of senses. Sarvatra samabuddhaya, always equal-minded, nothing bothers him. Praise or blame, honor or dishonor, profit or loss, nothing bothers him. He's always in that equal-minded state. Sarvatra samabuddhaya, te prapnu sarvabhuta hiterataha. Third quality is, he wants to help all beings. Like there was a story where Sri Ram said there was a scorpion which was falling in the water. He says that will die. So the sadhu, a saint, took it in the hand. It stung him. Again, he threw it again because it was so painful. He threw it in the water. Again, he said it is dying. He took it. Again, it stung him. Again, this went on a few times. Sri Ramakrishna gave the example. And somebody watched it by said, "You are crazy. That is doing that. Why you go on taking?" Sir, that nature of scorpion is stinging. That is its nature. My nature is to help. So even for all beings, you have to have sarva bhuta hiterataha. If you say you have these 3 criteria, you are eligible to nirguna. I can say I am Brahman, I am God, nothing but. Otherwise, it is an intellectual concept. So that is what you should remember. He said that. Then next step he says, why? क्लेशोदिकरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहविप्राप्यते. So people with body consciousness, so klesha means difficult. Klesha adhikara, adhikara means very. Tama means most hard, very. God himself is telling very hard. For whom? People with body consciousness. Is there anybody here who has no body consciousness? So you are very much particular about your youth, your beauty, and how you appear. Then he says, God himself is telling, it's very difficult for you. If you have that kleshodhikarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta higati dukkham deha vibhya. If you have body consciousness, you cannot do that. Then don't need to be discouraged because of that, because we cannot do. There is another path, Saguna Sakara. He says, how do you do that? We talked last week that also. He says, keep your mind always in me. That is what they say. Tesham aham samudharta mritu sangsara sagarat. Always thinking about me, dedicate all your actions to me, then I will take you across this ocean of mritu samsara. And he says, you keep your mind on me, then he will reach me. Then that's where we ended. Now we'll continue there. This is chapter 21 in the electronic version, page 95, and in the hard copy, it is page 193. So this is where we talked about. Now then he gives a very, Lord is so compassionate, loving. He gives the choice. You cannot do that. Then he will give 4 options. What next you can do, next you can do. So then we are going to discuss. So you can continue on page 194. It's not 193, 194. And the electronic thing is page 95. So where it starts, this is the teaching of the Gita. You should not worship as an emergency measure. Who is reading?
Me. Sorry.
Please go ahead. Sorry.
I'll start a little bit before,
Please,
just to lead into.
Please. Yeah, here we are not in a hurry to finish things. We are here to contemplate and digest and understand.
Sairam. At all times and under all conditions, one's acts and feelings must be God-centered. Instead, if you pray when overwhelmed by misery, worry, and loss, "Oh God, save me, rescue me from these," and when they pass, if once again you plunge into objective affairs, enslaved by worldly aims, such conduct is reprehensible. This is the teaching of the Gita. You should not worship the Lord as an emergency measure. When the tongue is affected and does not relish food, people seek hot pickles. So too, when grief afflicts, people seek God. This kind of demonstrative devotion is rampant today, perhaps due to the influence of the fundamental hypocrisy of this age. Hollow devotion, seeking to exhibit the strength of one's attachment to the Lord, is unfortunately evident even among great sadhakas and persons who have renounced everything for the sake of Him, whom they consider to be their all. For many, bhakti is a burqa, a veil, which is worn when on pilgrimage or when approaching elders or when visiting temples. Once they are back home, they discard the veil and with it all ideas and feelings of reverence for the Lord. These are but exhibitionist stunts. Bhakti, however, has to be steady and full. It is the establishment of the mind in the Lord under all situations, at all times. Many assert that all their acts are dedicated to Deva, God, but their attitude shows that they are dedicating them to Deha only. Instead of dedicating them to God, they dedicate them to themselves. They assert this, "I offer to Krishna," but really, it is an offering to their putra or son. This is an offering to Rama, they declare, but their urge reveals that it is an offering to the raga, a sense of attachment, passion. How can these acts be dignified by the word dedication or offering? So I'll stop there just to kind of briefly discuss. So I think, Uncle, you kind of talked a little bit about what the sort of the 4 levels of bhakti that Lord Krishna gave. It's in slokas, I think 12, chapter 12, and then 8 through 12. This is where he kind of describes those. But in this, what he's saying here is, what really struck me is this idea of bhakti being like a veil. When you go into places of worship, or you go and you want to show a good impression, when what that impression should be good in every aspect of your life, not just when you visit a temple, or not just when you want to show some respect. I always remember this discourse that Bhagwan gave, where he talks about how Ayodhya and Vrindavan are satellite offices, but it is the heart that is the main branch. And so we should always hold that devotion and know that it is our heart where God really resides. And I think when we come to terms with that, it is a lot easier when you're to carry that true bhakti in every aspect of your life.
It's very, very, very important point she made. So the headquarters of God, where you may say, is it Kashi, or is it Madura, or is Mecca, or Ayodhya, or even Shirdi, or Patti? No, the headquarters is your heart. That is why, as Lord Krishna says, beautiful shloka, Ishvara sarvabhutanam hurdeshe Arjuna tishtati. He says, I'm established there. So we should have that conviction. That's why Swami Vivekananda beautifully, before he passed away, wrote, after searching here, there, in temples and mosques and synagogues and churches, finally I came around to find the Lord whom I was searching in this sun, moon, stars, galaxies is here within my own self. For that you need this search. That is the ultimate thing. Once you reach that, that is why even Lord Krishna scolded Draupadi, why she took time to come and save me when I call you, your Bhakta Paradhina thing. She says, Dwaraka, my Vasi. So so I have to come all the way from Dwaraka. If you say I'm Hudaya Vasi, I would appear, I think. Because God honors whatever you put. If you say Shirdi Vasi, he has to come 10,000. You say Vatican Vasi, he will have to 8,000 miles, or Makkah Vasi. Anyway, he's there, all those places. But you say Hridaya Vasi, which he himself said, Lord Krishna himself said, I am Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hudeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantraru Nani Maya. So he is there. We should have that conviction and feel that. No doubt, all these holy places, there is a great vibrations, and you get inspired, and your devotion gets strengthened. But finally, you should remember that he is our Buddha. The very, very important headquarters is the heart. Next point. Another thing is, anyway, before she catches up, we all do bargain with God. Like Swami says, I give you this hair, so give me that. As if Swami says God has no hair and he's looking for the hair. Swami has lots of hair. So on this, I will do so many pradakshinas, go around the temple, do that. I'll break 108 coconuts, you do this. These are all business. In business, you do that, right? You do this, I do that too. This reminds me of a nice incident in Shirdi Sachrit. A lot of people read. He had a great devotee by Damu. He is a very great devotee. He is a businessman too. So he wanted to do a business. Jati Vyaparam is, I think it is like a cotton business. So he wanted to do business along with his friend. They said, your partner will make lots of money. So he wrote to everything, like one of us, he always wants permission from Swami, Baba. He writes a letter, so please give me permission whether I can do this or not. He just wrote a letter. And Baba had a good devotee called Shama. So he gets the letter, Baba, what is there? This man wants to go high up. He's not happy with what he has. He wants to make a big deal and flies high into the sky. He says, then okay, read the letter. Then this Shama says, Baba, you know everything. Why do you want me to read? No, who will believe I know everything? For the other's sake, read it. He reads. He wants to do that, whether I should do. He said, don't do that. You will lose heavily. So then he says, so Baba says, no. That man was disappointed, because whenever God doesn't way the way we want, we get disappointed. We want to say yes to our desire. Then the Shama says, maybe you personally come there, he may say yes. Then he personally goes there, Damu, to Shirdi, and sits there. And because they were scared, because Baba is so much power, he hesitated to ask. He was inside planning, if I make a business, some good deal, let's say I will get 1 lakh rupees, I'll give you a percentage, 40%, 30%. No, people want to give, I make this much, I'll give you part of it. It's good. Then Baba even doesn't say that. He is thinking inside, I don't want to get into these deals in the worldly things. So please, then he realizes, my God. So God is not into business deal. And there's another one also, he does like that wheat business he wanted to do so many things. So God, he doesn't need your business. He is more interested in your simple and really pure love. Like Kuchela. What did he give Lord Krishna? Parched rice. But he did with so much devotion, just with first thing, he gave all his wealth, everything possible. Then second, then third thing, his concert, right? When he holds his hand, no, no, don't take any more. Then I have to go and serve this person, Kuchela. That kind of God gives more, even pleased with the little things like parched rice, but you do it with humility, love, and gratitude. Then you do, God responds. That is why don't have business transaction with God. He says, and also another thing is no show of business. God doesn't, it clearly says, Lord, Dambo Dharpo Abhimanasya. So it's nice to put white dress to show this as a uniform for us, but don't think that makes it pure. That is why all the Shankaras said long time ago, Jetilo Mundi Lunchita Kesha Kashayambara Bahukruta Vesha. People put a lot of akar robes, shave the head, or put this thing vibhuti on the head, nama, this thing, and then the page should be straight, or should three things should be there. Two things. They go even to the court. They had people who had how the insignia in Vaishnavites, they put it should be U namam or Y namam. They said for the elephant they had to go to court. That is so ignorant to think God is confined to these little symbols. So he is omnipresent. He is everything, everywhere, ever. That kind of thing. When you have that attitude, he will respond whatever you call. So that's why Swami is playing here the words. Instead of Deva, you really, instead of Rama, you appreciate Raga. So this is very important. Don't make like a part-time devotion. Bhakti like a burqa means just you go to the like church-going religion. Swami Vivekananda used to go only when you go on Sunday. Think of God. Other days here, hope we don't do that. On Thursday, only think about it, or Friday for Islam. So all the time, everywhere, we should think about God. Ananyas chantayantoma. That's what is very, very important. At least we need to start that. So that is what it is. Anybody, any comments? Okay, here I want to continue there. Okay, so to do this, it looks very hard. All the time thinking about it. Then Lord Krishna says, flu. Ata chittam samadhatum na shaknomi mayistharam abhyasa yogena tato mamicham tu samanjaya. I know you cannot do that, really. For us to concentrate for hours together all the time, think about it, very hard. Then he says, he is so kind. Abhyasa yogena, just try, go on trying. Say, after a while you will succeed. There are many yogas, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, raja yoga, but this introduced Gitacharya, abhyasa yoga. In life, anything to achieve, whatever you need to practice, practice, practice. Whether you want to be a great singer, whether you want to be a great dancer, whether you want to be a great speaker, great writer, and great scientist, everything dedication and constant practice. More you should, then you can achieve. So this abhyas yoga is more necessary even for spiritual seekers, much more, because it needs one-pointed concentration. So if you cannot keep your mind all the time, go on practicing, practicing, practicing abhyasa yoga. He says, all of us should practice. Then he says, oh, I can't practice. That is also hard. Abhyasopi asamarthosi matkarma paramo bhavaha madartamapi karmani kurvan siddhim avapsi. Okay, I can't practice. I don't have semi holidays, daisy. Krishna says, if you can't do abhyasa, then just do my work. Just so like for example, go and work in the temple, clean the temple. So just do serve people and put the garlands, put prasad, do whatever work related to God. Just at least that you can do, right? It's just whatever, if you cannot do that, just do my work. I work in the organization, all of you are working as an officers or whatever it is, whatever way you can help in the divine mission, there is a great service. If you can't do that, that doesn't need complete your thing. It needs some time and effort. So if you can't do that, mat karma parna, just do my work. Then you say, even that can I do? I'm busy, my work, and I cannot go to temple, do the seva. Ataitava ashaktosi kartum madhyogam ashita sarva karma phalatyagam tatakuru yatatma. I can't do that. I have no time to go to your temples and your day place and serve. I don't have it. Then he says, whatever work, because from morning to evening, you will do something, right? You take bath, you eat food, you go to office, you do that. Whatever you do after the whole thing is done, the results you dedicate to me. Just karma phalatyagam. That means Saya arpanamastu, Krishna arpanamastu, Rama arpanamastu, all these things, whatever I did, the results, Lord, I give it to you. It should be easy, right? Whatever, simply Krishna arpanamastu, Rama, just say, then he is giving such a good deal. So first is, you be completely think about God, people who have concentration and do that. Then he says, I can do practice, abhyasa. So if you cannot do abhyasa practice, come and do my work. No, even that I cannot do. I'm too busy with other things. Then he says, whatever you do, it doesn't matter what you do. Whether you go to work, or do in society, or eating, drink, everything, sarva karma phalatyagam. Just is, I dedicate the fruits of all this, that is also good. So these are the 4 steps, remember. So God is the greatest teacher, so which applies to everybody. It doesn't mean to you are a Christian or a Islam, or so he didn't say for which God. He says it is applicable to all spiritual seekers. So this is the very profound message. Any questions or comments? Okay. If you don't have, we'll continue next week. Yeah, please read the original text, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12. Then you will really enjoy the whole thing much more. So otherwise, it will become just like a class. It should be like a dialogue, all of us sharing, like we came up with that. So read some of the things and come up with those things. Sai Ram.